Why would a woman leave a man who seems perfect? A man who treats her well, who gives her time, attention, loyalty, who does everything right. And yet, she still walks away, sometimes for a man who offers less on paper. This truth is uncomfortable, brother, because the reason has nothing to do with effort. It comes down to 7 deep psychological needs inside the female mind. Needs so subconscious that most women can't even explain them. That's why you hear phrases like, "I don't feel the spark anymore. I just need space. It's not you, it's me." She doesn't realize it, but what she's really saying is this: these 7 needs are not being met. And here's the brutal part. The man she chooses next often fulfills all 7 without trying, without knowing, without effort. Today, you're going to learn exactly what those 7 needs are, how to recognize when she's searching for them, and how to become the man who fulfills them naturally, without begging, chasing, or losing yourself. When you reach the 7th need, everything will finally make sense. Why some men are chased obsessively while others barely get replies. But before we go further, let me be very clear. I didn't invent these rules. I'm simply exposing the game that already exists, whether you like it or not. These psychological needs are real. They work. And other men are already fulfilling them, probably with women you want. The difference is this: I will teach you how to meet these needs with integrity, not manipulation. To build real connection, not damage. If you plan to use this knowledge to deceive, control, or harm, close this video now. If you're still here, we're aligned. Let's begin. Need number 1. She needs to feel desired, not only loved. This is one of the biggest mistakes good men make. They confuse love with desire. They say, "I love you." They give gifts. They are kind, loyal, and supportive. But even with all that, they fail at one important thing. They don't make her feel wanted. Love creates safety. Desire creates excitement. Both are important, but desire must come first. When a woman feels loved, she feels secure. When she feels desired, she feels powerful, feminine, and attractive. Without desire, love slowly turns into comfort. And comfort alone is not enough to keep attraction alive. So how do you communicate desire without being disrespectful or vulgar? 1. Through your eyes. Don't stare at her like a polite movie character who never breaks eye contact. Let your eyes move naturally. Notice her smile, her posture, the way she carries herself. When she notices you looking, don't look away too fast. Hold eye contact for 1 extra second. That pause sends a clear message without words. 2. Through intentional touch. Not friendly touch, not nervous touch. Confident, purposeful touch. A hand placed on her lower back while walking, guiding her gently through a space, pulling her slightly closer when you talk. That touch communicates, "I choose you and I'm comfortable showing it." 3. Through calm honesty. In the middle of a normal conversation, pause for a moment. Look at her and say something simple like, "You're distracting me. It's hard to focus when you look like that." Not said with need, not said with desperation. Said calmly, said with confidence. Desire coming from strength feels attractive. Desire coming from need feels uncomfortable. One pulls her closer, the other pushes her away. Remember this difference because it changes everything. Need. Number 2. Emotional unpredictability. Here is a truth most men never hear, and once you understand it, it changes how you see attraction forever. Women do not want emotional sameness. They do not want you to feel exactly the same every day, react the same way every time, or always show the same emotional energy. What they actually want is emotional variation built on top of emotional safety. This is important, so listen carefully. When a woman always knows what you will say, how you will react, and what mood you will be in, you may feel reliable, but to her, you slowly become invisible. You feel safe, predictable, and comfortable, like emotional furniture. Predictability removes excitement, but emotional contrast creates curiosity. When your emotions have natural movement, when you are sometimes playful, sometimes serious, sometimes focused, sometimes relaxed, her mind stays engaged. She pays attention because she can't fully predict you, and the human brain is drawn to what it can't easily read. This does not mean being cold, confusing, or emotionally unstable. It means being human, dynamic, and alive. Here's how to apply this the right way. Rule 1. Vary your emotional availability naturally. Some days you are warm, joking, and very present. Other days you are focused on your work, your goals, or your own life. You still respond, but with less emotional energy. Not because you are upset, but because your life doesn't stop for anyone. This shows balance, not distance. Rule 2. Switch between depth and lightness. One day you talk about values, dreams, and meaningful ideas. Another day the conversation is fun, playful, teasing, or simple. This contrast keeps things fresh. She never feels stuck in one emotional lane. Rule 3. Surprise occasionally, not constantly, occasionally. An unexpected plan. An honest statement she didn't expect. A confident decision made without overthinking. These moments break routine and create emotional spikes she remembers. Mystery creates attention. Attention creates emotional attachment. When your emotional presence has movement, her interest stays alive because her mind stays engaged with you. Need number 3. Intellectual challenge. One of the fastest ways to lose attraction is being overly agreeable. A man who agrees with everything a woman says may seem polite at first, but very quickly he becomes invisible. When you never challenge her, never question her, and never express a different view, you don't come across as kind. You come across as empty. Men who always say yes are easy to forget. Why? Because attraction is not built on approval. It is built on presence, identity, and strength of mind. When you respectfully challenge a woman's ideas, something important happens in her psychology. Her brain wakes up. She starts paying closer attention to you, not because you are fighting with her, but because you are showing that you are your own person. She feels 3 things immediately. First, she feels your backbone. You are not bending just to keep her happy. You are not afraid to disagree. That signals strength. Second, she feels your independence. You are not emotionally dependent on her approval. Your thoughts exist with or without her agreement. Third, she feels your strong identity. You stand for something. You have opinions, values, and perspectives that are not borrowed from her. This creates respect, and respect is one of the foundations of attraction. Intellectual challenge does not mean being rude, aggressive, or argumentative. It does not mean trying to win conversations or prove her wrong. That behavior kills connection. The goal is not domination. The goal is self-expression with confidence. When she says something you don't agree with, don't stay silent out of fear. Calmly express your perspective. You can say things like, "I don't see it that way. That doesn't fully make sense to me. I actually have a different opinion on that." Say it calmly. Say it without anger. Say it without needing her to accept it. The power is not in convincing her. The power is in standing your ground. When you disagree without emotional tension, you communicate that you are secure in yourself. You are not seeking permission to be who you are. That security makes your words carry weight. Many men believe that disagreement will push a woman away. In reality, respectful disagreement often pulls her closer. It tells her that she is dealing with a man who cannot be easily controlled, easily molded, or easily influenced. And that creates curiosity. She starts engaging more. She starts explaining her views. She starts testing your thinking. What looks like a simple conversation turns into mental stimulation, and mental stimulation is deeply attractive. A woman does not want a mirror that only reflects her thoughts back at her. She wants a man who challenges her perspective and expands it. Someone who makes her think. Someone who brings a different angle to the table. When you stand in your truth without hostility, you become memorable. Remember this line, because it matters. You are not here to win arguments. You are here to stand in who you are. Respect grows from resistance. Attraction grows from respect. And a man who can calmly say, "I disagree," without fear, is a man who naturally commands attention. Need number 4. Constant sexual tension. This need is often misunderstood. It is not about sex itself. It is not about touching all the time. It is not about talking dirty or being inappropriate. Sexual tension is something much quieter and much deeper. It is an invisible current that exists between two people. Even when you are talking about normal things, work, life, random topics, there should be a subtle feeling underneath it all. We are attracted to each other, and we both know it. This tension is what separates a man she feels chemistry with from a man who feels like just a friend. Without sexual tension, everything becomes flat, safe, predictable, boring. With sexual tension, even silence feels charged. So how do you create and maintain it? Not through words alone, not through effort, but through presence. First, eye contact. Eye contact is one of the strongest tools you have. Most men either avoid eye contact or overdo it. You don't want to stare aggressively. You don't want to look away nervously. You want calm, steady eye contact. When she is talking, really look at her. Not just her eyes, but her expressions. And sometimes, when she finishes a sentence, don't respond immediately. Hold eye contact for 1 extra second. That pause creates awareness. It creates tension. Second, proximity distance matters. Standing too far away feels cold. Standing too close feels uncomfortable. The right distance creates intimacy. When you sit or stand near her, let it feel natural. Let your shoulders almost touch. Let your presence be felt without forcing it. You don't need constant contact, just closeness. Third, tone of voice. Sexual tension is carried in how you speak, not what you say. Slow down your voice slightly. Lower your volume when the moment feels personal. A calm, controlled tone communicates confidence. Confidence creates attraction. Fourth, pauses. Silence is powerful. You don't need to fill every moment with words. Sometimes, after she says something meaningful or playful, pause. Smile slightly, let the moment breathe. Those pauses allow emotions to surface. Fifth, touch, minimal, intentional. Touch should never be rushed. A light touch on the arm when emphasizing a point. A guiding hand when moving through a crowd. A brief contact that feels natural, not planned. Touch is not about frequency, it is about intention. 1 intentional touch is more powerful than 10 nervous ones. Why this matters? When sexual tension is present, her mind stays engaged. She is not just listening to your words, she is feeling the moment. Her body becomes aware of you. Her attention sharpens. She may not consciously think, this is sexual tension, but she feels it. And when you combine this tension with intellectual challenge, when you stimulate her thoughts while maintaining this quiet attraction, you become unforgettable. You are not just a nice man, you are not just a smart man. You are a man who makes her feel something, and that feeling is rare. That is why sexual tension is not optional. It is essential. Without it, attraction fades. With it, connection deepens. And when it exists naturally, everything else flows more easily. Need number 5. She must feel she could lose you. One of the most powerful things in attraction is giving a woman the sense that she could lose you. And when I say lose you, I don't mean threatening her, playing games, or being cruel. I mean showing her through your life and actions that you are independent, fulfilled, and complete on your own. You have your own path, your own goals, your own purpose, and while she is part of your life, she is not your whole world. Most men make the mistake of centering their entire lives around the woman they like. They cancel plans with friends, give up hobbies, put their career or personal goals aside, all in an effort to always be available for her. At first, this may seem like it wins her over. She may even feel special for a short while. But over time, this behavior communicates something very subtle yet powerful, that you need her more than you need yourself, that you would not be okay without her. And unfortunately, that neediness can destroy attraction faster than almost anything else. Women are naturally drawn to men who are independent, men who have their own lives, ambitions, and interests, men who are emotionally self-sufficient. When a man demonstrates that he has his own fulfillment, that he is happy, confident, and content whether she is in his life or not, being with him becomes something she values, not something she takes for granted. She starts to see that being with you is a privilege, not a guarantee. That's where the attraction intensifies. Self-sufficiency does not mean being distant or cold. It doesn't mean ignoring her needs or refusing to invest in the relationship. It simply means maintaining balance in your life. Continue pursuing your career, hobbies, fitness, personal goals, and friendships. Have passions that light you up. Build experiences and adventures that excite you. When you live a life full of your own fulfillment, it naturally communicates confidence and strength. And nothing is more attractive than a man who has it all together without depending on her to feel complete. When she sees that you are emotionally stable and independent, she feels a subtle magnetic pull toward you. She senses that if she doesn't appreciate you, you will not crumble. You are not desperate. You are not begging for attention. You are choosing her because you want her, not because you need her to survive. And that choice, that calm confidence, is extremely appealing. It makes her feel like she has to show up, to invest, to earn your attention, because she knows you will not tolerate anything less than mutual respect and care. Desperation, on the other hand, destroys attraction. Men who act needy, clingy, or constantly seek reassurance create pressure, tension, and boredom. A woman can sense when a man's happiness depends on her. It doesn't matter how good-looking he is, how wealthy, or how kind he is, neediness pushes her away. When everything about you revolves around her validation, she loses the excitement, the mystery, and the sense of challenge that keeps desire alive. On the flip side, when you show that you are self-sufficient, confident, and living a complete life, you multiply attraction exponentially. You send a clear message that she is a choice, not a requirement. That being with you is special because she gets to share her life with someone who is already full, thriving, and independent. This does not mean ignoring her, being arrogant, or withdrawing affection. It simply means that you are the man who has his own foundation first. You are emotionally strong, centered, and capable, and your attention toward her is a reward, not a need. Being okay without her does not make you cold. It makes you magnetic. It makes her appreciate your presence more deeply. It makes her want to contribute, to engage, to be part of your life in a meaningful way. She begins to see you as someone rare, someone who cannot be replaced easily. This is one of the most powerful psychological triggers in female attraction. When a woman senses that she could lose you, she starts to invest emotionally in ways she wouldn't if she felt safe and guaranteed. Ultimately, this need is about balance. You can love her, enjoy her company, and give her attention, but never at the cost of your own life, goals, or happiness. Your independence is your power, your fulfillment is your magnet, and the man who can live fully, freely, and confidently on his own is the man who naturally becomes irresistible. Need number 6. Calm, quiet leadership. Calm, quiet leadership is one of the most powerful ways to create attraction, and it works differently from what most men think. Many people confuse leadership with controlling someone, being bossy, or showing off power. That is not what this is about. True leadership is not loud. It is not aggressive. It does not force anyone to follow you. Instead, it is about being certain, confident, and calm in your actions, decisions, and presence. When you demonstrate calm leadership, it makes her feel safe, relaxed, and cared for. And that is extremely attractive to women on a deep, subconscious level. Leadership in this sense comes from certainty. It comes from knowing what you want, where you are going, and being comfortable with who you are. You don't need to shout, argue, or dominate a conversation. Instead, you quietly guide the situation and take initiative in ways that feel natural. You make choices, plan ahead, and handle things without overthinking or asking for permission all the time. Women notice this. They feel it. They sense that they can trust you to take the lead when necessary, and that trust creates comfort and attraction simultaneously. Think about it like this. When a man is always unsure, constantly asking for opinions on every small decision, or hesitating at every moment, it signals insecurity. It signals that he is not capable of handling life or situations confidently. That type of energy is stressful and unattractive. Women do not want to manage your life for you. They want a partner who can handle challenges, make decisions, and move forward without constantly needing validation or reassurance. That is what calm leadership provides. Calm leadership can be shown in simple, everyday actions. It can be something as small as choosing where to go for a date instead of letting her make every decision, or planning a night out without constantly checking in for approval. It can be shown in the way you handle problems, not overreacting, not panicking, but calmly finding a solution and moving forward. It can also be in your body language, standing tall, speaking clearly, moving with purpose. All of these small details communicate one big thing. You are in control of your life, and she can rely on you. Another important part of calm leadership is taking initiative without being aggressive. For example, if you are at a restaurant or a social event, guiding her gently, whether it's offering your hand, leading her through a crowd, or deciding when it's time to leave, communicates confidence. You don't need to announce it, say it aloud, or make a big deal. Subtlety is key. Leadership that is too obvious or loud can feel controlling, but leadership that is quiet, consistent, and natural is magnetic. Calm leadership also allows a woman to relax into her femininity. When a man is constantly hesitant, uncertain, or reactive, a woman can feel tension. She subconsciously takes on the mental load of thinking, planning, and decision-making herself. That creates stress and decreases attraction. But when you take control calmly and confidently, she can relax. She can enjoy the moment, be playful, be emotional, and show her natural side without worrying about the situation. Relaxation, trust, and comfort are incredibly attractive. This type of leadership is not about arrogance, ego, or forcing your will. It is about responsibility, confidence, and emotional control. A calm, quiet leader is someone who handles himself and his surroundings with grace, who makes decisions without hesitation, and who quietly guides situations toward positive outcomes. Women are instinctively drawn to this energy because it signals safety, stability, and strength, all of which are essential for attraction. Ultimately, calm, quiet leadership is about showing that you are capable, reliable, and confident without being overbearing. It is about taking charge in ways that are natural and subtle, giving her space to feel feminine and relaxed, and creating an environment where she can enjoy being with you fully. When a man masters this skill, he is seen as someone rare, valuable, and magnetic, the type of man women want to be around and feel connected to deeply. This is why calm leadership is not optional. It is a cornerstone of attraction. It is one of the ways you silently communicate strength, competence, and confidence without saying a word. And when you combine it with all the other needs, you create a presence that is unforgettable, magnetic, and deeply attractive. The type of presence that women notice, remember, and feel naturally drawn to. Need number 7. Selective validation. Selective validation is one of the most important and powerful tools in human relationships, especially when it comes to attraction. It might sound simple, but it is often misunderstood. Many men make the mistake of giving constant praise or approval to the women they like, thinking that showering someone with compliments will make them feel loved or increase their interest. The truth is, constant praise loses its value over time. When everything is met with a "you're amazing" or "you're perfect," it becomes ordinary. It becomes expected. And once it becomes expected, it loses the impact. What was supposed to make her feel special ends up being background noise. This is why selective validation is so important. It means giving approval and praise only when it truly matters, when it is earned, meaningful, and sincere. It is not about withholding kindness or respect. It is about recognizing that your approval is valuable, and when it is given thoughtfully, it creates real emotional impact. Think of it like this. In life, things that are rare are valued. Gold is valuable because it is scarce. Water is essential, but in most places it is abundant, and we take it for granted. In relationships, the same rule applies. When you give validation freely all the time, it becomes abundant and therefore less meaningful. But when your praise or approval is selective, it becomes something she needs to earn. This is not manipulation or trickery. This is simply a way to maintain respect for yourself while showing that you notice and appreciate genuine effort, intelligence, kindness, or accomplishment. So how do you do this in practice? First, notice when she does something truly impressive, clever, or meaningful. It could be a way she handled a problem, the way she spoke up about an idea, or how she achieved something important to her. When you see this, give your validation in a thoughtful and direct way. Say things like, "I really respect how you handled that situation," or "That shows a lot of intelligence and insight. I'm impressed." These kinds of statements communicate that your praise is not automatic. It is earned. It has value. When she hears this, she feels recognized in a deep and genuine way. She understands that her efforts and qualities matter to you and that your opinion is meaningful. At the same time, learn to stay neutral when she seeks superficial validation. Often, people look for approval in small, surface-level ways. For example, she might ask, "Do I look good in this?" or "Do you like this idea?" In these moments, it is okay to respond politely, but without giving excessive approval or excitement. A neutral answer like, "You look fine," or "That's interesting," communicates that your praise is reserved for moments that truly matter. This helps her understand that your approval is something of value, not a constant commodity she can get anytime. The key idea here is scarcity. Humans naturally desire what is rare. When validation is rare, it becomes precious. When your approval is precious, it is something she values deeply. She will start to pay attention to the things that earn it. She will recognize your judgment and care because it is not given lightly. It also encourages her to show her best self when she is around you, not to seek approval endlessly, but because she knows that when she does something remarkable, it will be noticed and appreciated in a meaningful way. Selective validation also strengthens your self-respect. By not giving praise automatically, you maintain your own sense of boundaries and standards. You are not constantly seeking to please her or earn her approval yourself. Instead, you are confident and centered in your own worth. This confidence is naturally attractive. Women, like all people, respect someone who has clear boundaries and values their own judgment. In summary, selective validation is about giving praise and recognition thoughtfully, intentionally, and sparingly. It is about noticing genuine effort and accomplishment and responding in a way that communicates that your approval is valuable. It is about not responding with automatic praise for everything, which diminishes its impact. By doing this, you create a dynamic where what you say and how you respond has real meaning. She will notice it, respect it, and naturally feel more drawn to you because she understands the weight and sincerity of your words. Remember, what is rare is valuable. What is valuable gets pursued. When you master selective validation, you become a man whose attention and approval matter. You become someone who is respected, appreciated, and remembered. It is not about manipulation, it is about clarity, integrity, and understanding human psychology. Done correctly, this skill can transform the way she experiences you, the way she values your presence, and the depth of connection in your relationship. These are the 7 needs: desire, emotional variation, intellectual challenge, sexual tension, independence, leadership, selective validation. Meet all 7, and you become the standard she compares others to. But remember, power without ethics destroys. Knowledge without integrity poisons. Use this to build real connection, not empty conquest. In the comments, tell me, which need do you think matters most? And if this changed how you see attraction, share it with someone who needs it. Because understanding psychology is powerful, but becoming the man who naturally embodies it, that's unstoppable. We go deeper next time.